Hello, everyone. I'm Monica, the Creative Beast. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am sharing a flip through of one of my Are You Book Enough art books that is created for the monthly Are You Book Enough Book Art Challenge. It's a monthly challenge hosted by Sarah Moe of Ink and All on Instagram, and there will be some links below this video if you'd like to find out more and find out how to participate and join the fun, because it really is a lot of fun. There are some really amazing art books that are made in this community with each monthly theme that we receive. So the theme for January was actually supposed to be odd, but Sarah made a new list and forgot she had a theme for January already and chose Pet Store as the theme. And I was already kind of prepared to work with odd, and I wasn't sure how I'd work with Pet Store until somebody suggested I put the two of them together, and so I did. So now you will be able to see my book, The Odd Pet Store. And I thought I would do a fun little flip through video because there's a sort of story of an odd pet store and the crazy little beasts that you would find in that pet store. So let's see if we can get this camera working. And I will start to share the story of the Odd Pet Store. So this is an altered book. I knew when I first saw the theme odd that I would use this children's book that had a lot of flip out pages. And I wanted to do that for this book because there were so many odd flip out pages. But when it became Pet Store, I wasn't sure what to do, but when it was suggested I could make an odd pet store, then it all still worked and came together. So I tried to do a lot of gesso to cover the original artwork, and that didn't really pan out. And as the days got closer to the deadline, and submission is usually by the last day of the month, I was having a lot of problems with ink on top of the gesso because it wasn't drying, things were smearing, things were getting to be a mess. It was a little difficult, but I persevered and I finished. So I wound up covering all the pages and the cover of the book with some papers and doing a light gesso on it. And I liked the matte look, but I was afraid things would get dirty, so I actually used some scraps of wax paper to rub all over the surface of the cover and the back, and I'll show you the back at the end of the story. And it kind of makes for a matte yet softer, kind of smooth satin finish in a way. So this is the cover, The Odd Pet Store, and I recreated it for the spine here, The Odd Pet Store. And let's get started with telling the story of the Odd Pet Store. Welcome to the Odd Pet Store, where you will find an assortment of pets kept by very special people. People who do not always know what havoc is wreaked by these odd pets. They are rather odd and strange pets, as they are not very cuddly, but perhaps you've encountered them before somewhere in your life. Let's take a tour and see if you recognize any of these beasts. A grimlet, a descendant of the yellow belly species. Physical traits: long body low to the ground, short legs with nasty claws, large head with pointed horns, long thorny tail, sharp fangs. The vocalization is a high-pitched whine, which can turn into a screech. This is the grimlet. Yes, he has nasty fangs and claws and horns. The behaviors of the grimlet are: begins to screech when faced with joy. Claws, teeth, and tail are used for scratching, cutting, and clawing when it encounters the happiness of others. Quiet and calm only when others are miserable in its presence. Needs excessive amounts of attention. In times of high distress, liable to suck all the air from the room for self-preservation. Not all the odd pets are as nasty as the grimlet. Some are downright silly. For instance, take a look at the Flibberty Gibbet. A bird of flight, not of fancy. So I'm going to take a look at the flight pattern here. And the flight pattern continues. Ooh, oh my goodness, look at this wonderful fold out of pages here. Okay. So the physical traits. Extended beak, excessive head and tail feathers, tiny wings. Vocalization, a squawker, not at all harmonious. Behaviors. Flies in curve and corkscrew flight pattern that goes nowhere due to her body imbalance. Drops a lot of shit in her flight pattern. Thinks it doesn't stink. It does. That is the Flibberty Gibbet, my friends. Few of the pets in the store fly, as you will see on this tour. However, some of the pets can be ghastly creatures, so beware of the amplified opinion. Amplified opinion, a species of troublemaker. Physical traits. Unbalanced head, small on top due to small brain with little to no logic. Large lower jaw of all mouth with small teeth. Antenna-like ears used to hear anything it can detect within a mile radius in order to drone on about it. Long legs. The vocalization. Frequent loud outbursts that are generally unintelligible. The behaviors. Known to make frequent amplified droning noises, similar to human mothers who nag with well-meaning advice. Legs are used to follow you mercilessly until you engage with their droning. Do not engage. That's the amplified opinion. Now, some of the pets are not so large or loud. Sometimes a small, quiet creature can be very dangerous to keep around for too long, such as the wee blether. I'm just a wee blether. No one pays attention to me. Let's learn about the wee blether, shall we? It is a tiny beast of monstrous impact. The physical traits. Small round head, broken antenna incapable of detecting positivity, small round body, thin wing-like appendages that are incapable of flight, flat webbed feet from walking a hard path. The behaviors of the wee blether. An unassuming countenance, often found perched on the shoulder, whispering into the ears. Whispers toxic negativity that can leave you traumatized, sometimes for years. Encircles you with a cloud of fear that appears as truth. Often seems on the verge of tears to elicit sympathy. Don't let the sad cuteness fool you. Prone to insidious self-pity, also a ploy to elicit sympathy. Do not engage. Here are some whispers of the wee blether. Traveling alone is dangerous. What will you do if you're homeless? Anger is so bad for you. The financial situation is really dire. won't get far without the right skills. I don't know why people are always aggressive to me. You'll never amount to anything. How will you survive without a real job? If you have encountered a wee blether, I sympathize. They may be small, but they are fiercely terrible. We have only one pet left to see, and it is a very annoying critter. This is where we keep the hippocrit, an annoying breed of the phony species. Physical traits: split head due to the pull of continual contrarian activity. Skewed vision acquired from frequent duality of its actions. Short hands from frequent grabbiness and grasping from others. Short legs from lack of real movement. Small pointed ears facing opposite directions indicating split focus. Mouth always agape from so much babbling. Often drools. The vocalization of the hippocrit is speedy squealing or snide carping, depending upon which phase of duality it's operating in. And the behaviors of the hippocrit are unfocused attention, moves in a back and forth pattern due to being in continual contrary actions, frequent babbling on subjects that pertain only to the hypocrite, which is often incomprehensible to the listener. Says one thing to your face, then says the opposite when you aren't looking. Well, now our tour of these odd pets has come to an end. Perhaps you have encountered them before. Maybe one is lurking in a closet. If you are ready to rid yourself of your own odd pet, feel free to bring it to the Odd Pet Store. There is always someone who indulges pets like these and gives them a home. But it doesn't have to be you. Thank you for your visit. Don't come back. Are You Book Enough? January 2019. Themes: Odd Pet Store. This book is called The Odd Pet Store. It's an altered book. This is an altered book. That was actually a children's book. I do a lot of volunteer work at my library, my local library. And that's how I came across this book with all of these wonderful folds and fold-outs. And you can see I added a lot of scrap papers to hide the original artwork because gessoing wasn't quite covering it all enough. And then I added just a thin layer of gesso so I could write on it, but even that wasn't quite drying fast enough, so I had a few smears here and there. But it all came together in the end. So that is the Odd Pet Store. I had a lot of fun making this book. Made a lot of notes to figure out how to make some of these beasts. They are kind of based on people I've known in my life, and I suspect you might know people like this too. So that is what is behind the Odd Pet Store. You'll find as I do flip-throughs of a lot of my art books that there's a lot of kind of personal life stuff in them as I work out some gremlins and demons of people that I've had to deal with in my life that have been unpleasant or dramatic, dramatic and traumatic. So that's the Odd Pet Store. That's a flip through of this altered art book. And there will be information if you are interested in joining the Are You Book Enough Art Book Challenge. It's every month and there's a new theme and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by and I'll see you next time.